Everybody, Chef Nice again here. The chef that isn't a chef doesn't proclaim to be a chef. Today, I'm going to try my hand at a veggie burger. I had a physical last week and a Medicare assessment, and because of COVID and really some of these videos that I've done, I've wound up eating all this food that I've gained a lot of weight, and now I'm predisposed to prediabetes that my mother had gotten late in life. So the doctor says, look, you need to lose some weight, which I know that, and you people that do know me and see me around, you know if it's anywhere, it's around the waist, okay? So he says, I want you to go on the Mediterranean diet. Well, shocker, a lot of that being Greek is already built in, but I'm gonna be trying my hand at doing some stuff, like cutting back red meat to maybe 1 day a week, eating more egg whites than egg yolks, unflavored Greek yogurt, which my mom used to make that from scratch. I never liked it, but you know, I'll add some fruit to it, fresh fruit. Things like eating popcorn as a snack, unsalted popcorn, for about 3 months to see how this works. Well, in the meantime, I was looking at recipes online. I'm not into these Impossible burgers or veggie burgers. I really never cared for them. I would eat them from time to time, but I'm really going to try this time. So I found a recipe online. Of course, I read it. I liked it, and some things I didn't like about it. So you know, for me, it's got to taste good. I've eaten veggie burgers out before somewhere in some of the local restaurants around here, and actually they taste pretty good. But this particular recipe calls more for mushrooms. I'm not really a big fan of mushrooms. I've learned to eat them over the later in life over the years, but I'm real careful with them. But this one, for the most part, is going to be mushrooms. It's going to be the recipe calls for shiitake mushrooms, but I didn't want to spend all that kind of money. I found some regular white mushrooms, so I'm going to try them, and Portobello mushrooms. Now, this is the Portobello mushroom. It's a mushroom cap, right? This is considered the filet mignon, or supposed to taste like a filet mignon of the mushroom family. The gills are brown. You can leave them in there, they're edible. You can remove the stem. You can scoop out the gills if you want to. What they'll do is they'll darken a dish. Right? They'll darken a dish. If you don't want it dark like that, just remove the stem, of course, and just scoop it out with the edge of a spoon to clear them out. And then, like I said, I used regular mushrooms, all right, white mushrooms. They're going to give body and substance to the burger. It's going to be more of a nutty taste, and that's what I'm kind of looking for. And then to me, it's got to have some seasoning to taste good. So what I went ahead and did, I can't really show it, is I can't really show it. I've got 2 cloves of diced garlic, a small onion chopped up. We call for shallots. I didn't have a shallot, I had some onions, so I chopped up onion, and then I chopped up just one Portobello mushroom cap and a large handful of the regular white mushrooms. Now, basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to heat them in some olive oil, like 2 tablespoons of my olive oil. The olive oil and the onions for about a minute or so. Then I'm going to add the mushrooms, and then I'm going to saute them, let them get soft for about 5 minutes. And then I'm going to add salt, basically some salt. I have packets here that I've had, and God knows, hopefully they're still good. This Grill Master McCormick vegetable seasoning. All right, I'm gonna throw this on there. It's not really part of the recipe, but again, what is. It also calls for a binding agent to use brown, short grain brown rice because apparently it's a better sticky properties. Well, I've got some brown rice, but I'm not going to use it. This is the rice I've used before when I did the shrimp stir fry. It worked out great. There's a lot of vegetables in here other than rice, and there's a whole grain rice. with peas and carrots. I'm gonna nuke this so it'll be nice and hot when I add everything together. I will add, it calls for mirin, which I'm gonna replace it. This is for maple syrup instead, but I've got some agave left, so I'm gonna use the agave in it. It calls for red wine vinegar. It calls for sriracha. I don't have that, but I do have some hot sauce, which is fine with me. It calls for tamari, which is, if I'm saying it right, it's I think like a fermented soy sauce, but I don't have any of that, so I'm gonna use my low sodium soy sauce. All right, and a couple more things. It calls for Panko breadcrumbs. I don't have Panko, but I do have Italian breadcrumbs, which is fine again with meat as a binder. And once I saute the mushrooms and the onions and the garlic, I will put all that in the processor. I don't need to show you all that. Processor, and then it called for flaxseed and walnuts chopped up. I don't have any of that either, but I did get some roasted sesame seeds. So I'm gonna throw some of those in there too to see what happens. And again, I'll taste it to see what it's like. Once it's completely pulsed, where it combines everything and it's still nice and warm from the rice, I'll put the rest of the panko breading in there, and I'll make some patties out of it, and we'll go from there and see what it looks like. All right, I didn't want to bore you showing you all that. I'll show it to you in steps as we go along. All right, you see the mushrooms have gotten soft now, so we're gonna add the tamari, which is basically the soy sauce. Okay, 2 tablespoons of that. We'll be doing a 1/4 cup of balsamic vinegar. I don't have balsamic, so I'm gonna use red wine. See what that does. 1/4 cup. Okay. Yeah, missed it. All right. It says half a teaspoon of maple syrup. And I'm gonna use my agave here, about half a teaspoon. That looks good right there. Reduce the heat. Stir it in. Add my garlic. Turn it down. Half a teaspoon of paprika. A bit of sriracha. In this case, it's going to be hot sauce. Right. Now, I'm going to add where it calls for brown rice. I've added all this together, and I'm turning it off to let it slightly cool. It smells really good. Okay. And you know what? I'm going to take it a step further. I don't know if this is good or bad, but because it's the first time I'm doing it, I am going to add just a little bit, teaspoons of hummus. You see, that helps bind it. Not much. Plain hummus. All right, it's off. I'm gonna add this to the processor, and I am going to add the sesame seeds and part of the panko to it, so it'll blend really well. I'm gonna take it out, pour it in a big bowl, add the rest of the panko, and then I'll form it into patties. This is the consistency of what after I pulsed it in the processor. It's nice and thick. And last step now is to add the rest of the panko breadcrumbs, in this case Italian. Mix it up and then make it into patties. Then it says to grill, but I'm going to use the same frying pan. I just wiped it down and I sprayed it with the with some pan coating, and we'll go with that. Alrighty, so stay tuned. All right. Making some patties. I guess you can make meatballs too if you want to make it for meatballs. If you want a vegetarian meatball, or maybe some kind of a spaghetti sauce or pasta dish. You can do these probably ahead of time and keep them in your fridge for a few days. You probably freeze them for, I'm guessing, a few weeks. They smell good, and actually what I've tasted is really good. I don't need to put any more seasoning on it, make it too salty. And let's see, I made basically 4 here. They're not all the same size, but again, it's all trial and error for us non-cooks. If it tastes good, that's the bottom line. And since I'm going to be on that health kick for a while, instead of using hamburger buns, I've got these sandwich thins. This is flax and fiber, made with olive oil and sea salt. This is going to be my burger, pretty much, my bun. And I'm going to spread some, for the healthy fats, I'm going to spread some avocado verde. It's avocado with tomatillo salsa. Instead of me buying an avocado, slicing it and putting it on there, again, for me it's all about having flavor. So I'm gonna spread that on the bottom of the sandwich thins instead of doing mayonnaise and mustard. I've got pickles. I may add a pickle to it to see what it tastes like. But anyway, this is what I'm going to be doing for at least the next couple of weeks, or actually the next couple of months. If it breaks apart, what the heck? There we go. Right. All right, and there you go. I put the guacamole verde on top and bottom. I added some diced pickles to it. You know, I guess you put mustard, you can put the hummus. You can put lettuce, tomato, onions, or whatever you want on this thing. Cheese. I'm actually staying away from cheese also as part of this 3-month thing to check it out. And that's it. right, hopefully I can do this again. This is great. I could put kidney beans in here or pinto beans in here, mash them up, add whatever you want to it. But this, I'm drooling, sorry. This is really good. Again, I'm Thanasi, and this is my masterclass for us non-cooks. Thanks. See you next time, maybe.